Hey, Statesman Nation, we are back here at Wood Iron Grill with another great week of guests. Just want to inform you before that, we have a lot of activities coming up this weekend here for William Penn, men's wrestling and track and field at the NAI Nationals. Men's lacrosse playing 2 games down in St. Louis, and then a total of 8 games here inside of Oskaloosa this weekend. So make sure you tune in and make sure you follow along with all the updates. Our first guest here with us tonight is head coach for women's bowling, Kirsten Foster. Coach, congratulations first off on the Heart Championship.
Thank you.
I know you guys have been waiting for that for a while, but with that, what went into the dominance that your team showed this weekend?
I would say it was a slow start. I think we went in with these expectations that we were just going to come out firing and just walk away with a win, and I think we underestimated the other teams. And so it was a slow start. It took us 4 sets to get everything going, but then once set 5 hit and our mentality changed, honestly, they were like a freight train. There's no stopping it. They covered over 200 pins in 2 sets, which is unheard of, and then they lost 2 games out of all their matches. Like they had a purpose, they had intention, and they were not letting anyone stop them.
And then off of that, I mean, your team is very experienced. Play together for a while. You have 5 bowlers that are seniors. Can you kind of talk about what they mean to you and what they mean to the team?
So with those 5 seniors, we've done a lot of work. A lot of work on our team culture and our team chemistry and what we wanted the program to become. So with that, they were all there when I took over as a coach, and they really helped establish the foundation that the program has now. So they worked on it, and I'm not going to say it didn't come with its hurdles. There was times where there was bickering, there was fighting, but they learned to communicate with each other what worked best for them, and they learned to overcome those hurdles. And ultimately, it led up to the success that they're having this second semester.
Yeah, and then with those 5 seniors, I mean, also some other bowlers on the team. Can you kind of talk about how the team bonding goes and how the team chemistry is?
Yeah, so we do a lot of just trying to get to know each other a little bit better, working on, what makes them as individuals, but also as teammates. And so we do team bonding. We'll do different activities throughout the season to get to know each other better. But then we also do team bonding to actually build what we are as a team. And so with that, we try to keep the atmosphere light. We'll joke around with each other, and it's fair game. So they even come at me at times, and they do get me. I'm not going to deny it. So, but it's mutual. So there's times at tournaments where we're just joking around, and someone will throw a shot, and there's jokes firing immediately. But it helps us because then it lets them know that even if we mess up, it's not catastrophic. It was a mess up. They'll do better next shot. So it helps keep the atmosphere light, but it keeps them focused and know that they can do better next time.
Yeah, and then always great to have a good team chemistry there and be able to joke around after maybe not a great shot, and you know your teammates are still going to support you, but also be able to joke with you. And then just lastly here, we're going into the postseason now. After the Heart Championship, we have Nationals along with USBC. Yep. And then what are we expecting out of our team going into this postseason?
So going into this postseason, one thing we really worked on is the mental game aspect. When we were at bowling conference, there was just this shift in attitude, shift in their mental game going from set 4 to set 5. And so I've actually talked to the girls about what triggered that shift for them, because they just got into this fight mode. And that's what we need going into sectionals. There is a lot of tough competition there, and they're not going to back down. They're all looking for the same thing. So we got to go in fighting right off the bat. So we can't just give up 4 sets like that. And so we're working on, what is it going to take to trigger that sooner, get it going, so we can actually put up a worthy fight to take a bid to ITCs. And then same thing for NAIA Nationals. We've got 24 games of Baker play to where we get to figure out, how's this pattern going to play, what's our seeding going to be like, which determines which teams we have to bowl against to try to get to that NAIA National Championship match. And, I think we turn that fight on soon. We can get a good seed placement. But I'd like to see what they do in match play. Their match play record this second semester is unheard of. They're undefeated currently, and it's impressive to watch.
So for maybe some of those people out there who don't know typically what goes into the preparation, can you guys talk about what you do in practice to kind of keep things light, but also keep them working on their game?
Yeah, so we do a lot with lane play. So we'll work on if we have like fresh oil on the lanes, how do we play that, playing different parts of the lane. Today we actually worked on a burn pattern. So there's not as much oil on the lane, so the girls have to play left, throw their ball right, and try to get it to the pocket and strike. And so we worked on that a little bit because you're going to see all these different transitions throughout the day as we're bowling. And so it's learning how to overcome those transitions, how to read them, navigate them, and then execute the shots to the best of our ability. And we do it not so much where we're constantly executing shots, but we're trying to do it in a learning factor so that the girls realize what they're seeing on the lanes and then how to communicate that back to us so we can make those correct calls. So we do a lot of learning and guiding and working on communication as a team, so making sure everyone's on the same page. Because ultimately, it's not going to take 5 bowlers executing good shots. It's going to take a team effort, whether people are bowling, whether they're sitting. And so if that communication is up and running, we can do it.
Yeah, and I think everyone in Statesmen Nation is behind you there. So again, thank you for joining us here out at Wood Iron Grill. And we'll be right back with our next guest. We are back here at Wood Iron Grill. Our next guest on the docket is head coach for cheer and dance, Abby Reynolds. Abby, thank you for joining us.
You're so welcome.
So first here, we're just going to get kind of into the regular season. I know you guys had 3 different events. Can you kind of just explain to us how the regular season went for you guys and how the year has gone?
Yeah. So we have to get 4 regular season competitions out of the way before we can go on to conference and regionals. So those 4 are very important. The scoring is very important. Just execution is very important. So we try to pick ones that get us a little out of our comfort zone, a few that we know, we had a home comp and we did really, really well. The season is going really well. For cheer, we did have an injury before our first comp. We literally changed the routine on 6 a.m. Friday before we competed that Saturday. And we got the best scores that this team has had since I've been here. Dance, the same thing. I mean, we've had a few injuries here and there, but they keep rising with each score we are going. And I know we're really pushing the limits for conference. There are some teams we're neck and neck with, so I'm excited for what is to come.
Yeah, and so off that, you talked about that home meet, which was this past Sunday, the William Penn Classic. For the team, you guys scored pretty good, turned around from that Friday competition. Can you just kind of give us the highlights of how you thought that went, and then maybe, I know it was senior night as well, so just kind of an overview of some of the seniors that were honored.
Yeah, we had decent scores Friday, but what you kind of do with cheer and dance is you take the judges' feedback from comp to comp and maybe make little tweaks or kind of look at what they put down on their kind of on the score sheet of what they want, maybe they don't want, what we need to do better, not do. So it was nice to see that the turnaround from Friday to Sunday was a huge turnaround. Each team jumped 10 points, and that comes from just a little tweaking on Saturday and our teams locking in. So I was very, very happy as we went into Sunday. Some of the seniors that make this, just a great environment. Katarius Brooks, he's been with me 5 years. So he might not always know the counts, but he brings a lot of excitement. We have a few other key players, Zoe Jones, Chris Ferry, Bailey Redlinger, that have been with us for a while, for a few years at least, and they bring a lot of dedication and passion, and same on the dance side. We have 2 seniors that have been with me for 3 years now, so they kind of know the ins and outs and can kind of provide their leadership to keep pushing the younger kids and kind of giving them what we should expect and what we should do out there.
Yeah, and along with those seniors, I'm sure there come some good times. Do you have a favorite memory from this season so far?
That's a hard one. There's a lot of funny moments, but I think the best moment is the ones we have in the locker room before we go out. Each team is a little bit different, but they taught me this cool new dance. I don't even know what it is, but I do that dance before we go out now. It's like a tradition. And then I can't say this on, this show, but we have a few sayings that we do say before we go out, and I think those are the best ones when we're all in that huddle before we go out on the mat. And I give the last speech, I give everybody a high five or knuckles, and we go about and do our business on the mat. So those are my favorite memories.
And then I was going to ask, I saw the video earlier today that was posted, and you guys have a little bit of a chant that you do before you go out. Is there a little bit of a backstory of how that became, or?
I actually don't know. They just started doing it, and it's kind of stuck. But Chris Ferry, who's a senior, he's been with me since his freshman year, and he's very big about doing something that's meaningful before we go out there. So I think it was a bunch of them that got together and did that, but they just kind of did it one day. Now it's stuck, and now it's going, and we love it. It gets us hyped, and like I said, I give my last little speech, and we just go out there and kill it. So.
Well, it's good to know. It was very loud the last time during that competition. But on a little more serious note here, March 9th marks the start of the postseason for your team. Can you kind of give us just the expectations of what you're expecting out of the team?
I'm expecting us to push it even further. There are some teams in our conference that we are neck and neck with right now. So every practice counts. Every little tweak we make, every little clean we make is gonna be what matters that day. I'm very excited for what is to come. I think we're going to have a really good running conference, better than we ever have, but we really got to key in on those little things so we can keep pushing it, because there are some teams for both cheer and dance that we are neck and neck with right now.
Well, good luck this postseason, and of course, thank you for joining us out here. Really appreciate it. We'll be right back here at Wood Iron Grill with our next guest. We are back here with our third guest of the night and our final guest, head coach of men's volleyball, Luke Bentley. Luke, thank you for joining us out here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So you guys had your first home game of the season, pretty much a month into this season, first home game this past Tuesday. How did it feel to finally be back inside of the pack and feel the energy of our fans?
Yeah, always nice to be back. And it feels like it's been a while because, like you said, we've had a month off of playing games on the road. But it's good. It was a good win on Tuesday, and happy to be back in front of our home crowd.
The first month of the season has passed us by here, like we said. You guys are sitting at 8-2. What have you seen out of the team so far that you have really liked, and what do you see that you guys can still work on and be improving?
Yeah, we're pretty senior heavy this year, so very experienced group, and I think the biggest thing that I've noticed through the first 10 games is our guys really want to win this year. We got a couple fifth-year guys and the true seniors that have been here for 4 years. There's a lot at stake this year, and it's kind of something we've been working towards for 5 straight years since we started the program. So I feel like this group is pretty hungry, and they're really excited to see where the rest of the year goes. To answer your other question about what we need to work on, you could pick apart so many things, and I think our consistency is the biggest thing. We went to Missouri Valley last Friday, ended up going into 5 sets, and anytime you play 5 sets, it's a battle, and I felt like if we could have been a little more consistent throughout, we would have hopefully not gotten to 5 sets, and that's kind of what killed us. So, beating teams quickly maybe is the better way to look at it, and that's tough to do, but that's kind of the goal.
And you talked about how the seniors kind of seem to want it more this year. Was there any kind of talk either before the season or still going on during the season of where they just knew they had to focus in a lot more, or not a lot more this year, but just kind of focus and turn it up to another level?
I think it's more of an unspoken about thing because they're all seniors. It's like they all know this is their last year. Last year we had seniors, and they could have taken the 5th year, right? So there's always that kind of question mark of, well, I could always come back if I have to. And we don't have that choice anymore. The seniors don't have another year. There's no COVID year left. And the 5th years are gone after this year. So, it's one of those things. They all know this is their last shot. Volleyball's done after this. So it's kind of like now or never.
And then off of that, in the latest NAI ranking, you guys came in at number 5. So how does it feel to be recognized as one of the top 5 teams in the nation?
It's okay. I mean, that's just not something that we're that worried about. Just because it could change just like that. I mean, we could be ranked 5 this week, and we could be ranked 10th the next week, and then not ranked the week after that. We still have to win, and that's kind of what we focused on the first 10 games. We've obviously gone 8-2, and if we can keep doing that every 10 games, we'll be okay. But yeah, the rankings are nice, and it's exciting for the program. It's exciting for the university to get recognized, and I'm proud of the guys. But yeah, the numbers are kind of irrelevant. I just want to see some W's.
And you guys have a plethora of games this weekend. What should the fans out there be expecting out of the games?
Tomorrow's going to be a good one. Yeah, a really good one. If you're in town tomorrow night, come watch Missouri Baptist come here and play us. We've had 2 5-setters the last 2 times at home. 2 years ago was a historic battle, 36-34 in the third set to come back, and then reverse swept for the next 2. Last year was pretty similar. So, yeah, we play them really tough every year. They're very good. So I expect a really good one tomorrow night in the pack. And then Saturday, we get 2 more at home. So a lot of volleyball this weekend. But, yeah, good weekend for us, and good weekend to kind of open up our home slate here.
Yeah, very good weekend to open up the home slate. And with that, just make sure to stay up to date with all of the action this weekend, as our men's volleyball team will be in action against Missouri Baptist on Friday, as well as UHSP and Morningside on Saturday. Again, Coach, thank you for joining us here, and thank you to everyone for joining us here at the Wood Iron Grill.